Everybody. It's Chris doing another AI engineering podcast. Share this out. Team. And I'm going to continue from earlier in the week. I intended on doing it more, but things come up. So let's see. I can enable fix the lighting a little bit. This super blurred a little bit. So cool. So the plan is to continue with this, getting some of the svelte documentation. I'm not going to do the whole thing because that'll eat up our credits as we iterate with it. And after we do that, I think we're going to try our hand at automating some of the consolidation process. So we have a good working document. So again, this is with Cursor and to show some strategies for doing development with it. So first I need to get into a branch. Further Cursor, further docs, enhancement. And I am going to share this out on Twitter. FireCrawl development with that Cursor. Let's see what this does. Cool. Back to it. We've got one person watching, so we'll see who it is. My team might join as well. And there's someone else who will join. Let's go back over here. This is a good idea if I... No, it's not a good idea if I close this on stream. I'm gonna paste this here. Cool. Let's see if we can get a few folks in here. All right, so just to review from last time, we've got a code base that works with FireCrawl. FireCrawl is a pretty cool thing. It's pretty cool. Let's go to the usage tab. No, that's my usage. It's a pretty cool application that allows you to crawl different websites. So they got some docs here, and it will crawl it and then put it into a markdown, which LLMs are pretty good at interpreting. So that's the sort of thing that we're doing in this. So they got a lot of documentation. Looks like they're going up in stars. Apologies, I'm gonna cough real quick. Cool, back. So let's share screen. Wasn't sharing screen. So yeah, we've got FireCrawl here, and it's pretty easy to use. They got a lot of different SDKs. They've got examples of how to do stuff. I don't know if I even have the previous. I don't have the previous sort of project up with it, so I'll just keep going. I don't really need it because we've got Cursor here. So we're gonna start with Cursor here. We're gonna Control K. We're gonna say, what does this do? And then you'll notice that there's some that's the main thing, but then that's the secondary thing. So I'm gonna press that. It's gonna tell me it initializes it, defines a crawl website, and then I've got the Svelte Kit documentation. We use Svelte Kit at XtendOps, and that is what documentation I want to get in place. But I don't want it just sort of like raw. I want to process it beforehand. So I'm going to escape out of that. The plan that I have is to scrape a few pages, put them in Markdown in a sort of working folder. So maybe I'll go ahead and create that. Could ask Cursor to do that, but it doesn't need to do everything. Working directory. And let's see. Then I guess we'll have a docs. I did it in the wrong one. So I don't like having sort of docs, but maybe we'll relabel this. So like the first step is to put it in the working directory for these. So let's start. I am going to put this. That's not blocking anything. Not sure why that changes the window. So we're going to open the Commander, and we're going to start a new one because that is not related to this. And we're going to add our local files here. So let's go /docs. It's not getting it because we're going to have monorepo with a large code base. So I'm going to at the folder docs. Actually, I don't need docs yet. At working. Not getting that working directory. Okay, so it looks like it hasn't caught up yet. Let me start the TypeScript server. And I'm also going to go to cursor settings. Look at the features here. I'm going to resync this index real quick. See some of this stuff we're doing. Why artillery's doing that. So sometimes you'll notice that it doesn't get the sort of well, it's not getting that working directory. Let's drop into the file. So apps, docs. Let's see if that improves it for some reason. At folders. Well, it's not getting that working directory for some reason. Okay, that's fine. I don't care because we can do it a different way. So, we've got 2 people. Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me a like. I'm just going to give it the context of what I want it to do. I want you to take the response from the run and write it to Markdown in the working directory. And actually, I guess I should put that in the source. Please move the /docs and /working directory to the source folder in apps/docs. See if it understands what to do. How y'all doing today? Okay, so let's look at this. So I just accepted what it did. It told me what it did, but let's see if it did what I told it to. So if we look at our Git, it's made a change to this. So yeah, we'll review that in a second. It didn't move the directories. So I'm just going to do that. It might be because they're empty, which is a possibility. Now we've got the whole sort of source in there, so I can just add the source and it'll suck up all those things. All right, let's review what changes it made. So actually, I'm going to close the composer so it's not too I have used a keyboard before. I want to close composer. So that was a focus error. So We've got the full URL. What changes did it make? Looking at the hover on the right. So crawl results for this. It's good to have a label in there. The LLM will be able to handle that. Giving the page and the content, metadata title, and then the raw content for the markdown outputs. So I'm running this. It's assuming that, okay, this is where it made those changes. So it's thinking that I was running these in the root folder, and I like to drop directories in our monorepo. So I think let's make an edit here. So now I'm going to use a different one. I'm going to use the sort of like closer in line. I'm actually going to run this from within apps docs. So I don't think I need that path. And we'll see if it knows what to do. Okay, good. It does know what to do. So it is joining the output directory together and then writing the file. So I think it should work if I run it. I can't remember how to run it. So yeah, let's see, ls, yeah, I'm in the right directory. It, oh yeah, I'll show that. So cursor has this command K here. So I typically had that connected with clear to automatically clear this. So it's kind of messed with some of my keyboard shortcuts. So it's gonna take a while for me to fix that in my brain. But it's all right. Like it's speeding me up on certain things. So okay, so I forget how to run this. So it's not going to be in my clipboard because I've done a lot of stuff since then. So we can actually, yeah, actually we can do it here. And then we can at the package.json. How do I run this now? And it's, yeah, okay. Yeah, normal thing, npm start. So pretty easy. Transform failed. Okay, so we got an error. Let's just add this. I'm going to add this to Composer. What broke? Okay, apologize for the oversight. Is in line constructing the full URL, ternary operation, issues with that line, the change that it made. Change did it make? Oh, it did. Okay, so the original one had this weird ternary like statement there. Makes sense. You could just accept it and try again. So let's see. Let's try again. Ah, dang it. Well, I am going to go change that code because it is still logging those. So be right back because I want to continue this. So let me go to cursor, status, FireCrawl. Now I'm going to FireCrawl. All right, I'm going to ignore you guys for a while. Talk amongst yourselves. Dashboard. You'd have to be able to use it like super quick to make this work. So that code is revoked. Create a new one. And we're going to revoke the new key. Okay, so yeah, accidentally showed the credentials. I did update my cursor roles, but you know what? It hasn't made it to my thing yet. So let's, using API key, let's find that and just delete it. Because that was not expected. And yeah, we'll get back. Not yet. So hope that was entertaining. Using the API key. So this is why I abruptly quit the stream on Tuesday. So that's just like API. Okay, so it's a few times in here. That's good. I'll do one more thing with that API key. It's not on screen. Good. Okay. And I have not used, well, it says that I haven't used this, so their metrics aren't up to date yet. However, it failed to crawl. Now we can troubleshoot sort of that problem. So the successfully crawled, failed to crawl. So let's see. Console error. And we'll just like log the whole result. Figure out why it's failing to crawl. Now, unauthorized, great, because I revoked that key. So I'm going to go back to my API keys and copy that code. Take this off screen and update it. Back on screen. Fingers crossed. All right, we got some results. Let's check that working directory. Did we get anything in here? It's logging, but is it writing? Okay, it's not writing. It doesn't take in MD, it takes in Markdown, include paths. What do you mean that can only be apologies. I'm just gonna delete that because I just really want to get some Markdown. And start messing with that. So let's clear that and we'll run again. Now I've got Markdown for this. Should be useful. Still not writing. So we got to figure out why this is writing. So wait, crawl result, fix the error. Markdown, output directory. PMPMI. I don't think we have file stack. Actually, I should probably stop logging the results because it takes up a lot of space. All right, API is taking some time to get back, or might be taking time to write it. Like that's not maybe the more likely thing. Or it was just the API to get back. Seeing as I haven't paid for this, I think it's probably that. Okay, it doesn't appear to be writing. So let's do. Doesn't appear to be writing the output file. What's not working? Okay, so I made those changes. Close this. And another thing I want to do is let's stop logging all the content. Can we clip it or share the link? Use some emojis. Hey there, thanks for joining. I am using Cursor to upgrade our developer docs at my company, XtendOps. So this is what we're doing is we're scraping the Svelte kit documentation, and what I'm going to do is take it in and consolidate it with LLM. So this is Cursor. If you haven't seen Cursor, there's a running joke because I can't stop talking about it with my dev team, and they're picking on me. So hi, Ramiz. Sounds like there was a party yesterday. Yeah, there was a party. That's why I didn't stream. Yeah. But we're fine. We're good. It wasn't actually a problem. Still logging all this stuff, so it's ignoring my instructions, which is annoying. So let's see. Why is it ignoring my instructions? Promise, guys, it works on my machine. No. Control Alt Command K, and why is it logging everything? Maybe that's something that the API uses. I'm going to ask this as a quick question. I don't think it's saying why I'm logging everything, which is dumb. Unless that's throwing an error. It's the markdown. It's showing both the markdown and failed to crawl, undefined. Yeah. Crawled successfully? No, yeah, we had some PHP attacks yesterday. So yeah, there's some stuff to talk about with that, but we'll talk about that next week, Release. It's Friday. No crawl data returned. What's our conditional here? That's the problem. That's the problem. Crawl result success. Okay, that's the problem. So we can Command K, that we can Control Command I. All right. It's failing successfully. Insert sweat smile. Crawl result success crawl result dot success is not the structure of the return. It comes back like this. And I'll open this back up. And it's really if it's completed that I really care about or give a damn. Let's change the conditional to if it's completed. Otherwise, log. So let's see if it knows where to do these things. Yeah, I could have typed that. Could have dropped just that whole sort of context with the shape of this. Status. Okay, so we're getting some TypeScript things here because maybe this is like this is okay. Look at this. So they have this sort of crawl status and error. So it's conditionally that. But if it's an error, it comes back with a different type, which is kind of annoying. That's an annoying shape. Let's look at these. Import type. I want to see what these look like. Okay, so wait, it should be coming back with status. Okay, so they aren't annoying. It's something else. Something in the way. Crawl result status success is true. And then if I look at the other one, success is false and then the error. So why did success not work? I'm going to Control Z or Command Z. Import. I spelled that wrong. Okay, so this is one thing about cursor when you're using it. It will keep like the way that it inserts these. You get these in your history, which is kind of handy because then you can say, oh, I like part of it, like except all, worked, didn't work, and you can come back through and say review it, or you can just choose to start over and take things piece by piece. So I think that's pretty handy. But I'm going to go back to what it was to begin with, because this crawl result success should have come back. Like I'm not manipulating it from there, and both of the crawl status response and error response have a shape. So I'm like wondering why it's not doing that, because I'm still not getting anything saved because it's not running that process. So let's I'm making this smaller, and that's why the other one took longer, because I increased the amount that it was crawling. Chose a spider emoji for crawling, which is funny. Ha, okay. This is real engineering. So their type for this SDK says that it's going to have that response. But, you know, sometimes the docs lie. So that's that's what this case is. So yeah, so we're going to do this again. Let's see, crawl result. We're going to have to ignore this error because it's not fixed. And I could go and patch it, but you know what? That's a lot of work. And it's not my job. So let's see. We're going to copy this and say, okay, we're really going to put this to the test. It's all right, man. You can watch it later if you want to. You don't have to watch it. It's not your job. I'm just trying to like share strategies for using cursor and stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask cursor to make noise. I need you to ignore this ESLint error because the actual response is different than the types FireCrawl exposes. And there we go. So I'm not getting that alert anymore. Now these come back as data, which is good. So the structure, data does not exist on crawl response type. What's going on here? I want to look at those types again. There's probably a different way to do this. I wish I could click and go and look at it. So that's the error response. Let's see, crawl response type. Yeah, that's not it. I'm getting back the actual data. So that is wrong. So yeah, we're gonna just have to know the shapes of these. TypeScript's not gonna work here to help. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy this and add this to composer. This is the shape of the data, the types, the TypeScript types lies. You gotta ignore that. What changes need to be made to save the markdown? Oh, I forgot. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to copy that in project all. Sorry. Continue the last message, but I forgot to add the context. Oh man, didn't get these. Okay, so I got up to credits used. Apparently I didn't put that in the clipboard. So I'll continue this. And so on. All right, let's look at these line by line. So I don't actually want to accept all of these. It's coming through and like reformatting my code. No, I want to keep that at 2. Yeah. No. I don't want to do that. I was there for a reason. completed credits used. Let's try that. Let's just look at it. I've got to verify this because it is not picking up on this, and that might be because it is getting context from other stuff. So unfortunate that so completed, total, credits used. Completed, total, credits used. Expires at, what's that expires at? You must be able to like requery this with FireCrawl. That's pretty cool. I don't necessarily have a feature for that right now. However, I could see where that would be really handy. So I'm cool with that. All right, we're going to accept the rest of these and see what we get. Okay. I'm going to have TypeScript errors all over the place. And are we iterating? Yeah, okay, we are iterating each result, which is good. Markdown content. However, here's the gotcha. My clipping, it's trying to include that. So that's displaying. That hasn't run. So this should display the preview and then out directory. So if it joins the markdown host name, markdown content. So, oh, it is, okay, so it is adding all of that content before, no, it's only doing a preview. Dang it. So I still want the content preview. But I want to add the content directly like that. So content preview was page dot markdown, not parkdown, markdown. Page dot markdown. It's gotten that wrong. So we're doing each page data markdown. Actually, that's right. Okay. So that should add it. Page dot markdown. We don't really need this anymore either. And then we can console log. I guess we could add like a separate sort of like preview that can be used, but I don't think it's valuable because like we really sort of just want to show the whole thing. So this should run. So let's clear this. Hello there. And we'll run this again. Fingers crossed. All right, so we achieved some pages. It says that it worked. Working directory. There we go. So we got the crawl results, content length, number of characters, content. So it's got a bunch of pages. Right, from now on, we're going to work with this instead of recrawling the application. So to do that, I think I want to, what do I want to do? Let's ask Cursor to pull this out to a hi Pertax. Thanks for joining. Do I know you? So what we're going to do is let's take all of this and refactor to a, excuse me, refactor to a separate function. Thanks for group. So yeah, I want the crawl website to, actually it already is refactored, isn't it? I didn't need to do that. We'll reject that. I'd already refactored it. It's refactored right here. So each of the URLs is in here. So like that's the sort of root. And eventually what I want it to do is to walk that website and create markdowns for each of these. But I want to continue this. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out. And it's all in the same file. Don't like that, but we're going to continue. So we're going to say await. Actually, yeah, skipping crawl website. And we're going to await. What we're going to do is consolidate. And I like to use these action words for functions. Markdown files. So that's going to be another function that we need to create. And what do you know? It does that. So we can say, oh, look, it is anticipating. So consolidate from the working directory, read that for the files in the working directory, console log. So let's run that. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to run. All right, so it's loading from here. So we confirmed that. So we can clear that again. Now, to consolidate these files, we need to pass a file in and to an LLM with a response. So I should probably at this point add another file, lm.ts. Let's see. And with this one, I'm going to say, start a new one to get rid of all that sort of context. Let's now add Anthropic support so we can summarize the markdown. So it knows that I want to do it here. It's giving me some interesting instructions here to use npm. It should be telling me to use pnpm. And I don't know why it's telling me to download OpenAI. I mean, I guess it could be handy. There is no existing code. You hallucinations. So let's copy this. I'm surprised it didn't. That what we'll do. Pnpm install that AI, see if it hallucinated the SDK. And we'll just like hold on to these for now because maybe there might be a release soon of a different sort of API that we might want to use. So actually, you know what? It's not that hard for me to add that in the future. So, yeah, we don't want to use Claude 2.1. I want to use Sonnet 3.5. Maybe it hallucinated that. I don't know. Let's see. Max tokens. Yeah, these max tokens, like this summary, I don't know. Let's think about it. So max tokens would be 1,000 tokens would be 750 words roughly. And with the markdown here, what I want to do is provide a markdown to Cursor and Claude. That markdown should be based off of the documentation that we use at Extend Maps. So like we want to be able to at mention, like this sort of at mention, like we can say, Svelte kit. And this should show up with Svelte kit MD. It's a single doc that gives context for this. Now, realistically, you'd probably need to have some sort of naming convention where it's not like all of the Svelte kit because you don't want to send that with each request. So I'm going to do at Svelte kit, and we're just going to be summarizing this, one page that I have. But I would make this crawl the Svelte kit documentation, clicking on any links. Once it crawls, those should be able to do this. And it's actually not Sonnet, it's Opus that I wanted. And that doesn't seem to be right. So we'll show another thing. Oh, my bad. It was Opus 3.5 that I wanted at web. Looks like that Anthropic SDK was hallucinated. Check the docs. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go like search for the Anthropic docs. Welcome to Claude. It's not necessarily Claude that I'm wanting, it's Anthropic, which powers Claude. So let's see if it can understand what it needs to do. It's no different. It's a default export. Okay, yeah, whatever. Cannot find that module. Let's look at our package. It's right there. I see it. And let's like actually add the links to the documents. At web, add links to this SDK for dev development. This is really handy to have the links right in your code base. No dummy, add it to the LLM. LLM.ts. I have to be careful, like calling AI dummy, because what happens in a couple of years. So it's added it here. So yeah, we're not Python. This is a JavaScript code base. You fool. Whatever. I don't need AI to delete that line. Okay, let's see what happens when I click. Getting started with the API. Authentication. I still need to get my API key in here, but what I'm going to do that's Python again. So got all this stuff right. I'm just going to copy pasta these things so we're not like struggling with that on the call. So we're going to drop these things down. Okay. Now we're going to get into adding, real system prompts and that sort of stuff. So we're going to summarize it and then use that later. Also, the prompts we should probably abstract out of this. So let us add in the SDK. Can I get it? Yeah, I can get it right to this. This is not the API you were looking for. That's the API you were looking for. So if you're listening, that's what we're looking at. What is this? Where did this come from? Huh. Don't save. I don't want that. I want TypeScript. Cannot find module. On earth. Where did it install this? Package. You know what? I gotta restart my TypeScript server. Sometimes you just gotta restart your TypeScript server every once in a while. I don't know what it is, but that's what the problem was. So let's see. We need a system prompt. So let's go ahead and do that. Is it listening? No, it's not listening. Yeah, role system. So if you're not aware of how LLMs work, they do prioritize what you share in the system prompt over what you share in other ones. Why is that not a... Is it saying I need a body? Okay, back up. I really don't want to read it in here. No overload matches. Give me options. Okay, here's where we go back to the documentation. It's handy because the link's right there. Anthropic APIs. You know what? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't allow us to add the system prompt like OpenAI does. Yeah, it's the first time that I've used this before, so we'll say assistant. You happy now? Yes, you're happy. Okay. One thing that I want to do is put these where they're not right in the code base. So we'll say system prompt Just put that at the bottom. Const. All right, now we can drop a line and drop another line. Okay, so we need to tell it actually what to do. So you're a helpful assistant that summarizes markdown content from websites into a concise format to be used for quick reference by developers and AI agents. AI agents. So we have a lot of AI agents in our code base. So that's why it probably, well, I guess kind of an agent, but yeah, an AI. You help with the following. Summarizing the page content, extracting code snippets, providing, see, it's like prompt engineering by auto completion with cursor, providing a quick start guide, and providing concise examples of code. So the extracting codes, we need to say like, you provide, you pay close attention to any code snippets, provide them and provide them in a format that AI, that LLMs can understand for code generation. That's maybe one of the most important things. So it's actually important that that's at the bottom because that helps with these. So there's not really another user query here. Yeah, I guess we can pass the user query as sort of the markdown part of it, because that'll be less trusted and probably safer for us. So your helpful assistant. Yeah, I mean, let's start with this. And the get maximum tokens. We'll just use that for now. We don't need to like blow up our credit. And what we're going to do is we're going to also do the user prompt. Summarize the following markdown content. Cannot find markdown. Oh, okay. That has to be defined in the context of the function because that's never reached. It needs to be defined in the context of the function because it's requiring this variable. And not the best. I don't know if I like that strategy or not. But the summarize the following markdown content from a website. So that's all that should be. I need to add a API key in here. So I'm going to go do that. You take a break. You talk amongst yourselves while I add the API key. Hopefully you can't see it in my glasses, but I'm not going to give you an option. I got to go to my Anthropic account. Is it console.anthropic? Yeah, console.anthropic, and I'll go to my workbench. settings, API keys. Create a new one so it's not used anywhere else. Used for docs. Their API keys are huge. I have to do a new line, and I've got a wide editor over here. And hopefully this won't dox that API key like the last one. So cool. So now we've got this summarize markdown function. Let's import that. Summarize markdown. So that's imported. What we want to do is we've got the content there. Let's just call this markdown. So that's known. We don't need to log it anymore. So we're going to wait the summarize markdown, and we'll log the summary, and then we can write the summary to the file path. Just getting this file path. Yeah, I don't want that file path. I want a different one. So we're going to write the summary to the file path. And if you recall, right at the beginning, we had this docs folder. Docs. We'll do this from the root, apps, docs, source, docs. And I'm not like really convinced, and we'll say file name, summary to markdown. We could do things like dates and stuff, and I'm like, that's not what this is about. So, so join docs. Looks like we're missing something. So cursor helping a little bit with file format. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. So now when we run this, we should consolidate the markdown for each of the files in here. Each of those files needs to be done. And realistically, we should probably like figure out what the difference is between which summaries have been done, which haven't been done. But you kind of get the idea. And those are like more to dos later. So we can. I'm gonna just double check that everything is uploaded. Everything's going. Everything looks good. And not start. Uh-oh. Bad request, invalid message. Invalid role. Okay. Must be the user role. Okay, so they don't allow us to do that. So all we got to do. So they don't allow the special instructions. So let's clear that and start over. They don't allow that either. Add request message. Okay. Well, you know what? We can do that as well. So let's join. You know what? Let's just throw it all in one. Tried to do things a way that everything's supported, but Anthropic has its own mindset on this. So we're not fighting it. That's not the goal of this video. So we can drop that. We can drop that. And we've got a single request. That's the user prompt pulling in the markdown. So we've got our summary here, skipping this overall, so it's website, streamline, key features, mixed pre-rendering, deployment can be done. This code snippet gives you the latest way to deploy, key selling points. So this is a really good summary of what Svelte is. I agree with it. I've got this markdown here, which I can then view. This can be used by the LM, and like here's the sort of like key idea that I want to enable with this process is when you're doing cursor development. So like say I'm working on this file. Now what I can do is I can copy in that markdown. So I can actually copy in that whole folder, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff in there, so not the best idea. So I can say at kit.svelte, and we would name it differently. We wouldn't call it that. But take in the summary and say, what is Svelte kit? And I think it's hopefully going to realize it doesn't need to make any changes. But yeah, this is, based just off of what's in there, not based off of the LLM's training. It probably did train on Svelte kit. But this is based off of that document. That's the main goal here, is to automate some of this. I've used this very successfully doing some other things. So pulling in type definitions from a node module, like what's actually there, not what they say in their documentation website, and using that to identify problems with the code base. So that's it for today. I'm going to get this into a shape that I can commit and get into our code base. And I'll do more of these, just running out of time. So thank you all and have a good day.